gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what they say.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jinquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Tonight marks 3 weeks since a California woman disappeared while visiting Houston. Felicia Johnson was last seen applying for a job at a Northwest Houston adult entertainment club and hasn't been seen or heard from since.
She cold.
Grace White joins us now with how her case is getting congressional attention and where the investigation stands tonight. Grace?
Felicia Johnson's father is still in Houston, and he told us he met with police today. He says it's moving in the right direction, but he can't share more details because of the ongoing investigation, an investigation that has the attention of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
We hope to God she's found safely.
It's been 3 weeks since Felicia Johnson disappeared on April 15th. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee adding her voice, advocating for answers.
Wow. So we have a missing sister, and I grazed over this story before in a previous video. We didn't have much information, but now we've got pretty much the full story. I believe that her body has not been found yet, but she is no longer with us, okay? The man who was accused of killing Felicia Johnson is still on the run. And guys, I just want to bring light to this story because this is a situation of an intercourse worker, okay? She was an Instagram Tatiana, and I will prove that by the end of this video. And she was out here selling that WAP, okay? She was out here doing what Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, and the City Girls are telling women to do. But they're not following up and saying, hey, you could possibly get killed if you meet up with the wrong type of John, or hey, you could, you know, get an STD, or hey, you could possibly get monkeypox if you deal with a bisexual man. So there's so many different things that these women are not telling you, but then they're basically promoting that you sisters, that you go out and sell that WAP to the highest or lowest bidder, because what we're going to find out is she really wasn't selling it for that much.
This was a precious young woman. She came to our community, and we owed her safety, and we need to find her.
But
no, you don't owe a woman safety if she's out here doing illegal activities. Now, look, selling that WAP is illegal. And I'm not like I'm not justifying the fact that she was taken out, but you're not owed safety when you are participating in activities that could potentially lose your rights. Okay, you could potentially lose your rights by participating in these illicit activities, and yet Felicia, she didn't care. She was living that city girl lifestyle, and it cost her big time.
Finding solid leads hasn't been easy. The 24-year-old is from San Diego. Her father, Kevin Johnson, believes she was at Cover Girls on West Little York the night she went missing. And he says they found her cell phone at Bear Creek Park. But Houston police have not confirmed that story. Last week, Johnson made a public plea outside City Hall.
My plea today is to the city of Houston and all its governor entities would hear my heart and my plea.
The Adult Entertainment Club told KHOU11 it's handed over surveillance footage.
And guys, this is what I need to tell you guys. If a woman is in the clubs and she's dancing, she's stripping, she's absolutely selling that WAP. I don't care what y'all say. Well, and all the women who strip gonna be like, well, no, not all. Like sometimes we be having boyfriends and we be in relationships. No, you're selling. If a guy say 1,500 to smash, you're doing it.
And is cooperating with police. The FBI confirms it's involved too. And the Congresswoman hoping the story will get more Houstonians attention.
I want to simply say to the family, I am joining with them. We won't let up until we find out what happened to this precious young woman.
We checked in with Houston police today. They're not releasing any new information. The reward at Crime Stoppers still stands at $5,000. That's a reward not.
Wow. A whopping $5,000 reward. That's 10 times more than what she was selling her WAP for. So she was selling the WAP for $500, and then, you know, she gets dismembered. She gets deleted by this John that she was dealing with, and the reward to find her dead body is $5,000. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Not just for finding her, but for tips leading to an arrest because they believe there is a criminal element involved. Grace White, KHOU 11 News.
4 weeks have passed since Felicia Johnson went missing in Houston. The California native came here last month to celebrate her birthday and make some extra money before she disappeared.
Make some extra money. I mean, the way these women are talking about it on the news story, they're acting like it's totally legal. That's just like saying, oh, well, Jenquavius Jackson came to Houston, to sell a brick of cocaine to make some extra money. Like, no, this is illegal. This is illegal. What she's doing is illegal. Crossing state lines. That's a federal offense. And they're talking about human trafficking. These chicks are trafficking themselves to the next state and jumping on that pogo stick.
Felicia is just one of several people who will be highlighted tomorrow on Missing in Harris County Day. Brittany Ford has another look at Felicia Johnson's case now.
Well, Felicia's father, Kevin,
she called,
says the investigation is moving forward. He says any little bit of information helps. The same could be said for families planning to attend Harris County's Missing Persons Day event scheduled for tomorrow.
Sunday marks 1 month since 24-year-old Felicia Johnson went missing. Her father, Kevin, meeting with HPD last Friday.
We do know when all of our movement stopped, which is our social media.
Don't they say these fathers keep sons out of jails and daughters off of stripper poles, yet the man's daughter is on a stripper pole, and not only that, but selling the WAP to the highest, lowest, or mid-tier buyer.
Her bank accounts, any of her movements stopped on the 16th. So that's what I know for sure.
My thing is, the father, I would have said, look, baby, how much you making a week? I will do all in my power to make up that money, to give you the lifestyle that you want, as long as you stay out of that damn club. That's all you do for me, baby. Like, where are those type of fathers at? I'm not saying he got to support her lifestyle, but, there's got to be some type of barrier to keep your daughters off the stripper pole because to me it just doesn't make sense that to me it looks like he's the only father, but she's still looking to get that male validation from outside sources.
Johnson says police were able to confirm Felicia in the surveillance video handed over by CoverGirl's Adult Entertainment Club, where she was allegedly last seen.
They have identified her on the surveillance footage that is her. And they also know where her last whereabouts were.
He says they couldn't go into any further details, but says he left with a better idea of where the investigation stands.
And I just appreciate knowing anything at this point.
Saturday, families of missing persons in Harris County will be hoping to gain similar insight.
This event, Missing in Harris County Day, started in 2015.
Harris County Missing Persons Day, spearheaded by the Texas Center for the Missing, a chance for loved ones to connect with resources.
Coming in, talking to law enforcement, they'll do their thing, file the case number, and guide you. What is the next step? What should you be doing now?
In Johnson's case, HPD says it's still a very active investigation, but had no further details to release. A father's plea as each day not knowing feels like an eternity.
Can somebody please find it in their heart to just come forward and just say something? If you know something, say something.
Now, Crime Stoppers is still offering a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest in Felicia's case. Harris County Missing Persons Day event is scheduled at the Children's Assessment Center tomorrow at 10 a.m. Brittany Ford, KHOU 11 News.
I think we got live. We're ready.
It was Texas acquisition. Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot. By the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video. All right, guys. So, man, I have to talk about this because, you know, it's been a few weeks. I wanted to know more. We pretty much got all the information that we are going to get on these incidents, but we're talking about LA, all right, and we are going to be talking about the murders of Maleesa Mooney and Nichole Coates, two models in LA. They're suspecting that there might be a serial killer on the loose in LA, which honestly, I don't really think that these two are related unless there's like significant physical evidence to relate them. However, people are getting knocked off in LA, specifically these models. And, you know, there are a lot of things and variables that lead up to, you know, these untimely demises. So I'd love to dig into it. Shout out to Business with the $3 Cash App. I appreciate that. And if you guys don't know, I am demonetized and shadow banned on this platform. So, you know, if you want to send a donation, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App. It would be greatly appreciated. It would continue to motivate me to come on this stream and do this type of content because I love doing this type of content, but it has to make sense. So appreciate Business for the $3 Cash App.
Oh, say less.
And yeah, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Now, I do want to kind of highlight the elements in LA, okay? And, you know, things that are just going on in LA and how this game is being run, okay? People are hitting licks, all right? People are running up on you randomly and beating you up. There are so many different things that are happening. Just today, there was a home invasion turned shootout in LA, which honestly, I can't really show you guys the shootout part. But what I can show you is the approach, and I can show you, you know, just things like that. So let's get into this. I mean, honestly, he doesn't even, I don't even think he ends up drawing blood, but he shot at the guy.
Let me just share the screen real quick because it's bugging. All right, so we're gonna run it back. Shit. All right, so as you guys can see, or should I? I'll do the big screen. As you guys can see, this is an LA home. It is gated. All right, it does have gates. Looks like automatic gates. Nice home, obviously in a pretty decent area, if for LA standards at least. Back in the day, you live in a house like this, you're not going to get touched. But nowadays, the crime is just so close to downtown. It's so close to Beverly Hills or wherever the hell this is. Hollywood, whatever you want to call it. The crime is so close to all the major cities. That's pretty much where most of it is happening. And then it spreads outwardly toward a perimeter. And there you go, right? The super gremlins know where all the rich people live. So that's never a good thing, right? In the South, obviously you have well-renowned neighborhoods and you've got Google Maps. So you could literally just look up, okay, where's a nice neighborhood? Where are the houses worth more? But the super gremlins are not putting in that type of work. Okay, what are they doing? They're driving around. Oh shit, that house looks like they got something. They got, oh bro, they got this car, they got that car. Boom. Now you have become a walking lick, as they like to call it. And sometimes they stake you out for a little bit. Sometimes they don't. But it's a lot of money in LA. It's a lot of people to rob. And for these super gremlins, it's a lot of people to kill because they don't care. Remember, we did the story on the music, the music producer's wife who was deleted. I forgot her name. I think her name was like Jacqueline something. But she was deleted in LA, and that was horrible because she was what? She was like set in her 70s. I mean, just a horrible way to go out. And the super gremlin who did that, he was released on prior. So now you have this home invasion. And this was just, I think it was a day ago, but it's being reported today. So you see the super gremlin, for one, guys, boom, he's running. You can see the whites of his underwear. This nigga is sagging, bruh. Even while hitting a lick, the nigga is sagging his pants. You can't believe it. Boom. So he pulls up. The guy defends himself, pulls a strap. And in this case, he was able to defend himself. Like, now, most of these guys, if he pulls a strap, they're going to kill you. Right? And thankfully, this guy was brave. He walked them down. He wasn't scared. They shot at him. He stood in the face of terror and he bust back. I'm not going to show you the bust back part, obviously, because I don't want to get, whatever else they could do to me. Right? But this is the vibe in LA. Normal robberies. And then you got crackheads killing niggas also. Yeah, man. You got crackheads killing niggas. Let me see. I got this story up that pretty much of a crackhead who is literally on the run, deleting people. So let me just pull this shit up real quick. Damn, what the hell? Anyways, I guess I don't have the video. But yeah, man, you got crackheads catching bodies and then it's crazy. So let me just read this one to you. If my screen would load. Oh, there we go. There's a video. I was like, where the fuck is the video? So this is a Koreatown murder suspect.
obviously, another instance of Asian hate. The Stop Asian Hate crime bill. And this is just a 16-second snippet, guys. So it's not going to be long. It's a 16-second snippet. So hold on.
And tonight, they say he is a murder suspect in the death of a 59-year-old man in Koreatown last week. Police say he assaulted the victim around 7:40 p.m. at the intersection of Wilshire and Kingsley. The victim passed away from his injuries 2 days ago.
Wow. So he assaults the man in Koreatown. And boom, there you have it. He dies from his injuries. I mean, when is it going to stop? And they only did a 16-second snippet on this. I want to find more information on it, but hell, I guess they found it worthy for 16 seconds to inform you guys. They got to start doing a better job. I'm going to look up the guy. Well, hell, even when you look up the guy, you can't even. His name's Benjamin Carter Quarshi. So I don't think he's Asian. But they don't really have much on this story, honestly. Suspect physically assaulted Quarshi until witnesses intervened. Suspect then fled on foot northbound on Kingsley Drive. Right? Described as a black or Hispanic male. His skin tone when he take his shirt off, kinda, but I ain't gonna lie. He looks like a ninja to me. 6'1", 160. Yeah, he's hella skinny. And yeah, but that you can't really find much on this story, but this little snippet. We don't know who Benjamin is, but condolences to the family. But I just kind of want to show you guys like the mood of LA. This is just my immediate search because they got shootouts, drive-bys, all within the last 48 hours. I guess they got the pro-Palestinian protester who, I don't know if he hit the Jewish guy and he died. You got a whole bunch of shit going on, man. Honestly, I don't even want to touch that one. But yeah, let's get into the main event, the main topic, the reason why you are here. We're going to talk about these models who were deleted. Now I'm going to give you guys a little context. All right. The main one that I want to cover is Maleesa Mooney, but we're also going to talk about Nichole Coates, found dead within a week in LA. Now, the time frame obviously, is suspect. That would lean towards serial killer vibes. But let's just see what we find out here. Like I haven't dug deep into this story. Kind of wanted to just do it on live. Get you guys feedback. Get you guys questions if you want to Cash App that in or PayPal them in. But let's see. Families fear serial killer is on the loose as models Maleesa Mooney and Nichole Coates are found dead within a week in LA. On September 10th, family members discovered model Nichole Nikki Coates' body in her apartment 2 days after they last heard from her via text. Her death is still being ruled as suspicious pending Los Angeles County Coroner's report. And this is as of September 18th. Just 2 days later and 3 miles away, Maleesa Mooney, 31, was found dead inside her luxurious Los Angeles high-rise apartment. So Nichole Coates, or Nikki Coates, her death is being deemed as suspicious right now. I don't know what they found specifically, but I guess we're going to find out. Family members are worried about a serial killer on the loose after the revelation that 2 Los Angeles models have died within 3 miles of one another in the span of days. On September 10th, family members discovered model Nicole Nikki Coates' body in her apartment 2 days after they last heard from her via text when she told them she was headed on a date. Wow. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious that the guy that she was going to meet up with could have possibly done this thing. And here's the issue with like women trying to do this serial dating thing in 2023, especially in a city like LA. Yeah, that's pretty much a no-go, right? For one, you could get catfish. A lot of these women are getting catfish. They're pulling up and the guy is shorter or the guy is bald now or something. And that same thing happens to men as well. But you could be meeting up with somebody who you didn't think they were. I mean, nowadays, you could use AI pictures and pretty much from what I understand, you can use these pictures and give off a perception of who you really are and put yourself in situations that you really weren't in, to exaggerate your lifestyle maybe, right? I mean, you get a crop of a guy's head and you put his ass in Bali, you can put him in Spain, you know what I'm saying? Make it seem like you're traveling. I'm just saying, the dating apps have now become a cesspool, and the women on dating apps, obviously, most likely they are going to be ran through. And the guys on dating app, unless they're the top 10%, they're not really getting that much action, and women are using them for foodie dates. But what happens is they end up running across the wrong foodie date. Now, in this case, I genuinely believe maybe the guy that is presenting himself on this dating app, I think he possibly could be an attractive guy who, just is a sicko or whatever. You never know. Or it could be the catfish situation where he's presenting himself as if he's somebody that he's not, using somebody else's pictures. Then she pull up and then boom, chloroform. Well, I mean, I'm not saying he's using chloroform, but knock her out or do something. I mean, these guys in LA, it's pretty lawless, pretty crazy. You could pretty much do anything and get away with it. I mean, you could probably delete somebody out there and, if you're not caught on camera, you might get away with it. And even if you do get caught, the DA is going to let you off if you're a minority. So it's pretty much open season. Her death is still being ruled as suspicious pending a Los Angeles County coroner's report. 2 days later, and 3 miles away, Maleesa Mooney, 31, was found dead inside her luxurious Los Angeles high-rise apartment after her family called for a wellness check because their blue text message conversations with her turned green. So maybe that's because whoever deleted her put her shit on airplane mode. I think that's the effect that happens. Coates' aunt, Mae Stevens, who discovered her body, suggests in a press conference that there is a predator on the loose, though only Mooney's death has been officially deemed a homicide, right? So she is insinuating that, okay, there's a predator on the loose, but they don't have any evidence because, if you got a serial killer, most likely he's going to stick to a pattern. If she was killed by a serial killer, Nikki Coates, that is, the same person that deleted Maleesa Mooney, which we know she was deleted, but the same person, if she was killed by that same person, then most likely they would have done very similar things, or there would be something consistent with the deaths, not just the time span. So let's see. I don't want to get a spoiler alert, but let's watch this video first. And then, okay, that's the same video. All right, cool. All right, let's get into it. And an ad. All right, no free clout. Yeah, fuck them niggas. They ain't fucking with me. I ain't fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't finna show no damn ad on my stream.
Hell no. All right, here we go.
Now at 6, a second model has been found dead in her apartment in downtown LA. And this happened just days before another model was found dead in her nearby apartment. Tonight, we have the latest on both of those cases. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the news at 6. I'm Rick James.
And I'm Corinne Winter at Deep.
Shout out to Business for another $4 Cash App. I appreciate that. Y'all already know Business is outside with it. He trying to figure out what is happening to these LA models.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Mystery tonight as we learn of the death of a model in downtown LA, the second in a matter of days.
Yeah, both of them found lifeless in their own apartments. Tonight, in a story you'll see only on 5, the mother of one of those victims is speaking out. Let's go to Chris Wolf. He joins us live from Hollywood now. He's got details on all of this. Chris?
That's right, Rick, Corinne, what a mystery this is. 2 young models discovered dead in their luxury apartments in downtown Los Angeles just days apart. One case is considered a homicide. The other one right now is considered suspicious, undetermined. Are they related? This is a story you will see only on 5.
It's senseless, and I want some answers because my daughter is gone.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is going to start happening a lot more. And unfortunately, these sisters voted for this, man. They really did. And they voted for their own demise. And I feel bad because deep down I am, and I told you so, ass ninja. You already know that. But it's the level of lawlessness in California. I don't understand how they're even functioning on a day-to-day basis at this point. There's crap in the streets, homeless in the streets. You have random people assaulted. I mean, the people on the streets of LA are insane. Okay? Insane. I'm talking about like shit you see in the movies, crazy niggas. That's who's in LA. Like, they're on a different level of crazy. Like, they're on the street talking to themselves. And, you see that here and there. Something, maybe a schizophrenic person who's on drugs, high, whatever. But in LA, it's like every block, boom, boom, bam, bam. Like, you got crazy nigga after crazy nigga. And every one of them got a story. And every one of them got an imaginary friend.
It is not fair. I want everybody to find out who did this to her. She shouldn't be gone.
But we need to know. We need to know what happened.
Family members of a beautiful young model who recently discovered her dead in her downtown Los Angeles apartment are crying foul play and explain they are frustrated at the lack of answers and information coming from investigators. 32-year-old Nicole Coates, known as Nikki, told friends she had a date on Friday, September 8th. That's the last they heard from her.
Date on Friday, September 8th. And boy, did this date end horribly. I know you go on dates to get to know people, but there has to be a vetting process beforehand. I don't know the type of guy that she was planning on going on a date with. Here's my guess, though. I'm going to take a shot at the dark and say, hey, it was probably one of these either. And here's the thing. If the police haven't, I'm sure they would be able to pull up the metadata. If the police haven't been able to trace back who she was going on a date with, and if they haven't said, oh, yes, okay, the guy that she went on a date with was the guy that killed her or did something to her. I mean, this one's up in the air. You can't really say, okay, this one is a murder. And, because of the time frame, yes, and in the circumstance, it sounds suspicious for sure. But at the same time,
if they haven't been able to find the person who she even said she was going out on a date with, question them and, rule them out. I don't know, man. I don't know.
She didn't answer calls or texts during the weekend.
But yeah, my prediction is, okay, so here's my prediction. And this is no slight or no diss or no disrespect. But we know a lot of these quote unquote models are intercourse workers. I'm not saying that she is necessarily an intercourse worker, but it could be some seeking arrangements, sugar baby type vibes. Definitely. That's just what I'm thinking. Offer it. Maybe got catfished on seeking arrangements. That could be a possibility. Or another high profile dating app, which they have other high profile dating apps, not just seeking arrangement. I won't get into the specifics. I've detailed it on this stream and other streams before. All the little websites that a lot of these girls are, on and selling pussy off of, quite frankly. But I think that's probably what's going on here. The fact that she said she was going on a date, it could have been a potential sugar daddy situation, or I don't know, maybe a guy from Instagram. That one is, or she could have went on a date with a Thug Max Alpha Simp. Now, the only reason why I would probably stray away from the Thug Max Alpha Simp theory is because he would have got caught right now. I mean, he would have been caught already. If it was a Thug Max Alpha Simp who deleted her, he would have been caught. And I don't think there are really any clear signs with her corpse, right? To say that she was outwardly murdered, Shout out to Caesar D. He said, blessings, young brother. LA is actually worse than you're describing. Wow. And that's sad, man. I mean, it really is, especially the gang violence as well. I forgot to mention the gang violence. I mean, it's ridiculous. But shout out to Caesar D for the $3 PayPal.
Oh, say less.
And I'm going to go ahead and say less and play the video.
So her father and aunt visited her luxury apartment 2 days later, located at 8th and Grand. That's when they made the gut-wrenching discovery.
I couldn't recognize her.
You feel there was some level of violence with this death?
Yes, I do.
You believe it was murder?
I believe it was. I really do.
So she couldn't recognize her. Apparently, the reason why she couldn't recognize her, from my understanding, is because she was bleeding out of her orifices, or, nose, eyes, mouth, maybe. I don't know. Maybe even ears. I don't know. But I think she was like bleeding really bad. And that kind of happens. Like the fluids start leaking out, when your body starts decomposing and rigor mortis starts kicking in. So I don't really find that odd. What you really have to do is kind of clean her up and then examine the body in its totality to really determine that, because she said she couldn't recognize her. Yeah, I mean, if anybody got blood all over their face and, fluids and maybe even being bloated, you probably wouldn't recognize them. But if you didn't see clear, maybe stab wounds, gunshot wounds, or clear, just like, I mean, you have to take there would have to be some type of wound, a visible wound, if somebody killed her in that way, or maybe strangulation. But here we go.
One of her legs was up in the air in a kicking position. That's not nobody that's just laid in their bed and died.
One of her legs were up in a kicking position. Here's the thing. That kind of is, I mean, it depends on the kicking position, because it kind of seems to me that maybe she was, if you, and I don't know if drugs were involved yet. I don't know if they got the autopsy on her. I do know they got the autopsy on Maleesa Mooney. But if you're dead, your body stiffens up. So a lot of times, if she could have overdosed, respectfully, she could have overdosed, which we saw with the Lauren Smith. Remember that one, the model who, went on a date with that white man and then everybody said that, oh, he killed her, and then he really didn't. Allegedly, right? Her boyfriend, not her boyfriend, but her brother gave her some. Her brother did give her some drugs before, because he pulled up potentially. That was the conclusion that we came to on the stream. That bro came through, slid her some dope, get her in the mood, which is kind of weird, honestly. Like, your sister's on a date with some random guy, and then you come and bring her drugs. Kind of weird. But the brother definitely is he was a plug. We looked at his Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But Lauren Smith Fields, yeah, she was the one who they thought she was murdered, and she actually wasn't, man. And then they done aired out that white man, and he went over there to smash. He even told her to stop drinking. He was telling her to stop doing drugs, stop drinking, stop turning up. And then he told the police that her brother did bring her something. So he definitely was a plug. He probably bought her some perks or something like that. And they were laced with Fetty, potentially. Well, I think actually they did say that it was overdose and fentanyl could have been involved. But so many different stories. I kind of get some of them mixed up. But I think I'm pretty spot on that. But yeah, it could be the same thing with Nikki Coates. That pink coke in LA, bro. They got pink cocaine, bro. I mean, if you've seen the white brick, right? You see the white brick of cocaine, you're like, oh my God, like, it looks amazing. Like, I always thought coke looked cool. I just never thought to do it because, I didn't want to fucking have a heart attack or some shit like that. But, it looks cool. It really does. Like, off the brick, you know what I'm saying? Niggas talk about off the brick and, oh, brick for brick and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it looks cool. It sounds cool. Like, everything surrounding cocaine sounds cool except the dying part, the overdosing part, right? And it's really easy to overdose on some good cocaine, apparently, because you're drinking, you're snorting, and you think you feel good until you take that last snort or you try and go to bed. It's almost like when you get too drunk and you're puking profusely. But in this case, if you get too high on coke, you could just fucking die and you just have a heart attack. So maybe she had some of that pink coke. It could have been laced with that Fetty, especially depending on her plug, which them niggas in LA, they're savages, bro. Those plugs, I mean, you don't want to buy no cocaine from niggas in LA, bro, honestly, even though it potentially is coming from the source. By the time it hit the streets, it's laced, it's stepped on is what they call it. All that shit. So honestly, you're risking your life buying coke in LA, period. Unless you're literally going to, you know what I'm saying, Hefe, you know what I'm saying, a nigga who like got millions and he's really getting it off the brick like that. But even then, like, sometimes Mexico, they're sending it laced with the fentanyl. But usually what's happening is they're sending it pure. It comes to LA, and then the Mexicans hit it with the Fetty, and then they sell it to the niggas, and then the niggas break it down even more. See, that's the fucked up part. The niggas will break it down even more. So she probably thinking she buying from a trusted plug, and then that nigga just boom sauced it up 2-3 more times. Because back in the day, they was throwing vitamin B pills in the shit, but now they're just throwing a fentanyl because they're like, okay, we want a repeat customer, and we don't care if the bitch dies. That's pretty much the sentiment in the coke business right now in LA, right? That's just the reality. And I don't know from experience because I don't do coke, but I know my way around, and I know, I mean, I've seen the open drug markets. I've seen the product that they're moving. A lot of times that shit be looking yellow as fuck. Now, if she is getting some good shit and she genuinely just was like, oh, she just went monkey on the shit and she just started like going crazy, like you know what I'm saying, oinking on that shit and snorting everything, then that could have been her shit too. But I'm telling you right now, Romare Dubois said niggas will put he said niggas will put Aunt Jemima flour in that shit. Yeah, they will. I mean, they really will. And look, I would rather have some pancake mix in my shit than some fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? If I was gonna do it, I'd rather have some pancake mix in my shit than fentanyl. But anyways, yeah, like you literally be when you overdose, bro, remember they said they found Mac Miller. He was in a prayer position. That nigga was praying for his goddamn life. When you overdose, especially if you're asleep and you overdose, like what happens is you overdose and then you're like puking on your own shit, you know, and then you're drowning in the throw up. And that could be the unrecognizable part as well, because, you know, she sleeps, she overdoses, and then her body is like seizing up and there's nobody to turn her on her side and burp her. You know what I'm saying? So she's just like seizing up on top of herself, and then she's laying on her bed, and, you know, unless the door was unlocked, I really don't see how somebody was going to kill her, because, yeah, her feet was in a kicking position, because when she was overdosing and she finally woke up, but her lungs filled with puke already, she's like reaching for God, honestly. Like, she's, you know what I'm saying? So she's kicking, she's scratching, and she's fighting for her life, even though there's nobody to fight. It's just her, you know, insides. She didn't wake up in time, and that is probably why her foot was, you know, kicking up and stuff like that. And then it got stiff by the time her body, you know, it's not a pleasant thing to talk about. It's not a pleasant thing to happen. But that's what your body does, because you're fighting. And, you know, she's on her back. Especially if she's on her back, I genuinely don't see how, unless they literally see, oh, she was getting strangled or somebody just punched her face in, which I don't think is what happened. You left her dead body there 2 days. For 2 days, that's a long time in dead body. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a long time in dead body world. You feel me? 2 days is shit. That's the first 48. By the time they find your ass, your body's gonna look like a whole different thing. You ain't gonna look like yourself. So, I mean, if they found her in 48 hours, obviously in that position, and she's still stiff like that, I think she was just, you know, holding on for dear life, scratching, clawing, fighting, and not fighting a person, fighting her own death. Like, her lungs are filling up with puke, and she's fighting her own death, trying not to overdose, trying to fight the overdose. So I think that's what that was. Unless they come out with some evidence, some physical evidence, say, hey, she was strangled. Hey, she was blunt force trauma, just like Maleesa Mooney, or, hey, you know, somebody kicked in the door, and it wasn't nothing like that. So I think the family's reaching respectfully. They want it to be something like that, so that it's not, oh yeah, she was just, you know, she got a taste of that pink Coke. Listen to what's the music producer? Is his name something's fuck? What's his name? It was just on the tip of my tongue. Now I lost it. He plays the piano on TikTok and shit like that now. Music. Hold on. Sure. He talks about the pink Coke. He talks about the pink cocaine. Is it Steve Stoke or some shit? Shit. Damn, I don't know. But anyways, there's a music producer, and he was like really famous, and he like plays the piano, and he's like really good, white guy. But he, you know, he produced with Dr. Dre and all that stuff. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now, but he produced with Dr. Dre and all this kind of shit. And then he got on the pink Coke, and he starts taking the pink Coke, and he starts doing the pink Coke, and he's like, oh shit, you know, this shit's good as fuck. And then he ends up, you know, becoming an addict and all this other stuff. And now he's finally coming back. Well, he was coming back a couple of years ago, but now I haven't really heard of him, or heard from him, but I know he's producing behind the scenes. But he talks about the pink Coke in LA and how strong that shit is, and like how it gets you addicted, and how it's like the highest level pretty much of Coke. So, you know, that's just that's pretty much what he was talking about. And I think maybe she got a hold of that pink Coke, and then she ends up, you know, overdosing.
I don't know who she went out with. What transpired there, I have no idea, but I'm going to find out.
Or maybe the guy drugged her. That could be a potential too. But I mean, I don't think you drug, unless she had a concoction of drugs in her body. You don't drug the girl for her to die. most of the time. But you know, I mean, that scopolamine, if they brought that scopolamine here, then that could kill you too. So you never know.
So if
Yeah, Scott Storch. Appreciate it, Wag the Dog. Yeah, Scott Storch. He talks about the pink Coke. If you guys want to look into that. Yeah. Very interesting shit.
you're out there, you're going to get caught. You're messing with the wrong person.
The LA County Coroner's Office says the case of Nichole Coates is open and the cause of death deferred. That means the cause is undetermined and further investigation is needed. However, Nikki's suspicious death is alarmingly similar to another recent case.
But how is it similar besides the time? Because the only similarities I really see are they both died within a couple weeks. And they're both models and they're both, you know, in nice apartments. I mean, but honestly, what's a nice apartment in LA? There's not really many because they're all infested on the streets. So it's not nice when you go down the elevator and it smells like shit. So, you know, besides the model part, which honestly, every girl in this day and age is a model. So like if two women die, the likelihood of both of them declaring themselves as models is pretty high, especially in LA. So, you know.
During a welfare check for concerned family members, police discovered the body of 31-year-old model and real estate agent Maleesa Mooney on Tuesday afternoon. She was inside her luxury apartment, Sky, at Bunker Hill on South Figueroa Street. The LAP.
So she on Figaro. I mean, that's a red flag. But then also, you know, her death was way different because when we start uncovering the details of her death, you're going to be like, yeah, those two are not related at all.
ED is not releasing any details, but confirms detectives are investigating the young woman's death as a homicide. Family and friends are devastated and neighbors are extremely concerned. The family of Nikki Coates is watching that case closely.
I feel myself, it's a predator loose.
Anyone with information should contact the LAPD. We'll have much more later on tonight. For now, reporting live in Compton, Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Wolfie, thank you for that.
Yeah. So there you have it. Here's some more pictures. Obviously, Nikki Coates. Looks like they're raising $10,000 for the funeral. GoFundMe, you know. But here is the I'll show you guys. I don't want to get into Maleesa Mooney real quick because I kind of want to close the door on this Nikki Coates thing. So we will actually come back to that. So their apartments were 3 miles away. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna have to come back to this Maleesa Mooney thing because it's a lot deeper than the Nikki Coates thing. And I kind of want to tackle that one first because I mean the family is like, well, let me not characterize it as that. Gosh, Janquavius. But yeah, you know, the family's like, you know, somebody killed her, all this other kind of stuff. No, I genuinely think it's an overdose. And honestly, I think I'm right. Let's see. Well, hold on. Let's see. So what I'm seeing is drug related. So they're putting out a cause of death. Let's get into this one deeper. And then we'll get into Maleesa Mooney. It's going to be a long stream, but we're going to keep going. Shout out to Zoo. He sent the $4 Cash App. He said, keep streaming, homie. I fuck with the channel. Appreciate that.
Oh, say less.
I shall do my best to keep streaming. And with you guys' support,
we'll be able to do this a lot more. So guys, get on the Patreon too. I'm gonna start transferring all my things over there as well, because it's tough on YouTube. These YouTube streaks is cold, especially when YouTube lock you out the crib.
Now at 11 in other news, it's been nearly a week since 32-year-old model Nikki Coates was found dead in her LA apartment. Tonight, her family looking for answers.
This as police investigate the death of another model also found in downtown Los Angeles. Eyewitness News reporter Elena Gomez joining us live from downtown with the latest. Elena.
Good evening. Well, family found Nikki Coates here in her apartment dead downtown at the 8th and Grand Apartments. The family feels her death was suspicious, and they're now looking for answers into what happened to their loved one. Family of Nichole, or Nikki Coates, are still in shock that she was found dead inside her apartment on Sunday.
I was so distraught. I couldn't even, no tears wouldn't even come out. I just felt like everything was moving slow motion, and I still am in shock. I'm so in shock right now. I'm still in denial that she's not here.
Yeah, and I mean, it really does suck. But I'm telling you guys right now, that pink Coke is a motherfucker.
The model was in her early 30s and lived alone in her downtown apartment. The family thinks her death feels a bit suspicious based on how she was found.
We just know that she was found. She was found dead in her apartment. It just didn't look right to us. It didn't look right how she was positioned in the bed. She was even unrecognizable for what my auntie had told me and what.
Unrecognizable, meaning her body was decomposing. I mean, you guys found her 48 hours after. It's just like, y'all have to understand that she's not going to look the same when she's dead, and they ain't put that embalming fluid in her and all that kind of stuff. They have to pretty the corpse up for funerals. Like, they don't come like that. Like, they clean the body, they fill it up with some shit to, make it look presentable. They even throw makeup on it's a lot of things that go into it.
My uncle had told me as well that she was unrecognizable in the face, as if she'd been beat. And they had to identify her by her tattoos.
Nikki's cousin Shania also says alarms went off in her head when.
So he's saying she's unrecognizable as if she had been beat. But also what could happen is, your skin starts to soften up, and then your eyes start going in. You know what I'm saying? Even like your nose, you have cartilage in here, and then you've got like this skin, and then you've got the bone. So everything starts seeking into the holes in your face, really, and it's not a pleasant sight, but I think you'd be able to tell if she was literally beat in, like y'all seen that Emmett Till video. I know that's a whole different situation because there's water involved, the picture, right? But you could tell when somebody's been beat in or their face is just decomposing.
She saw a similar story recently of a woman named Maleesa Mooney, who was also found dead inside her apartment downtown in Bunker Hill. Her death is now under a homicide investigation.
We just want to know what happened. We want to know what happened because it just doesn't seem right. And we're just like, is there a correlation between these two females? Is there a correlation? Because they were both almost in the same area.
Yeah, my question is, if the results come out and it's just like, okay, yes, she just overdosed, then what are we gonna say then? Are we gonna accept that, or are we gonna keep saying that she was murdered? So the cause of death is revealed for Nikki Coates, and the family is still convinced she's murdered, right? So if the results are y'all want to know what happened, here we tell you what happened. You don't accept the results. That's what happens a lot of times, because first, I know it sucks. But in my opinion, I think it's better to really know the truth than to delude yourself and want. Like, why would you want your kid, after they tell you, okay, this is what happened, why would you want the results to be, no, somebody killed her, instead of, she made a bad decision. I wish I would have noticed that she was on drugs. I wish I could have done something to intervene, or maybe I didn't know that she was on drugs. Maybe I did drugs with her. You know, maybe the family's not saying, hey, you know, me and sis, me and my daughter, we snorted a line here and there. You never know. But what I'm saying is, are they going to accept the results when the results come out? It doesn't look like it.
It was both almost in the same area. I think they were both in downtown LA, or just within that certain, mileage within that area. So we were just kind of like, when we seen that, we were just like, okay, we need to make sure that this isn't something else, because it just didn't seem right.
Shout out to Family Legacy for the $20 Cash App. Brilliant show. Keep streaming. You already know what it is.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
All right. Yeah. So we're going to keep going. But here's the issue with the community. Y'all want somebody to be murdered so bad. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want somebody to be murdered so bad. The girl was not killed. She made some bad decisions and that led to her untimely demise, it appears.
As they wait for more answers, Shania is remembering her cousin for the vibrant, loving person she was.
This is our reality now, like living without her. And I know it's not going to hit for a while until holidays come up and really, when people come over, family members come over, I know she's not going to walk in the door. I know it's not going to hit yet, because this still has not hit me.
Yeah, and that stings, man. I really do feel bad for them, but you have to kind of accept the truth of what's going on, and maybe accepting the truth will prevent other losses in the family.
It has not, but I just know I love her, and I will forever love her, and I just want her spirit and her legacy to live on.
And we reached out to LAPD. They say this is only a death investigation and nothing nefarious was found.
So you heard it. Death investigation, nothing nefarious was found. See, I love how the news just waited till the last second to throw that in there. Like, that's bullshit. Like, y'all already know nothing was found and y'all trying to link these two murders. Like, why would the media try and link these two murders as if they had any correlation but vicinity, right? And drugs, because there were drugs found in both of their systems. So let's talk about that. A budding Los Angeles model, and look, I'm not anti-drug in the slightest, right? Like, I understand I'm more libertarian on these issues. I think that, we should work to start legalizing a lot of these Schedule 1, Schedule 2 narcotics, because if you legalize it, you take the power away from the cartels. And I think that's the most important thing, to take the power away from the cartels so that they're not running our country, which they're running our southern border right now. So you take the power away from the cartels and put it into corporate hands, obviously regulated by the government. But, a lot of these drugs that they're, I'm not saying they have the same effects of alcohol, but hell, I mean, alcohol is a motherfucker, right? And honestly, a lot of these drugs are not as bad as alcohol. And now some are. I'm not going to say that, oh, this drug ain't bad as alcohol. It depends. Some people get addicted to alcohol. Some people get addicted to coke. Some people, get addicted to meth. Some people get addicted to heroin. Some people get addicted to Advil. Some people get addicted to Tylenol. It can go anyway. But I definitely think that there is a route to legalization where it can be regulated. And this is just my opinion. I know a lot of conservatives don't agree with that. It is what it is. I think there's a route to legalization where you can, make it so that it's only accessible to, because I mean, the kids are already getting it anyway. You need to put some type of barrier to entry with these things, honestly. A budding Los Angeles model who died last month in what her family feared has been a murder actually had an accidental overdose of cocaine and booze. There you have it. So now are we going to talk about that?
Are we going to talk about that? Ladies, you're $1.15. You're $1.20. I know they say drink your pain, and snort your pain, but you cannot. A lot of girls think that they can out drink men. A lot of women think that they can out snort men, but your body composition tells you otherwise. Here's the thing. I'm not against going out and having adult fun. Shocker. I'm not against that. But damn, if you're doing it every weekend, every day, you know what I'm saying? And then you don't know your limits. It's crazy. Like a lot of these chicks, they think they're fucking Scarface, or they just snort a line of cocaine back to back to back and face it. I mean, y'all aren't that big. Y'all are very small. What are you, 120? I mean, that girl, Nichole Coates, I don't even know why the hell. Let's see. Yeah, look at her. I mean, look how skinny she is. I mean, too much coke, too much booze. She should, honestly, that date that she went on, she should have went home with that guy. He probably could have saved her life. Honestly, I don't give a fuck how drunk she was. Sleeping with that guy probably could have saved her life, honestly. And I mean, it sounds crazy, but hell, if he was there and she's overdosing, and I mean, there's one or two things could happen. He could either see her like that and walk away, or he could see her like that and call for paramedics and try and get her some help. I lean toward he would probably try and get her some help, because if he walks away, it would seem like something nefarious, right? So yeah, she probably should have went home with that guy. Unfortunately, she went home alone, and she ended up dying in her sleep, which, I mean, it sucks. 32, too much coke, too much booze. Ladies, y'all gotta go home with somebody. A lot of y'all love saying, "Oh, I live alone. I live alone." Man, I think a lot of these women need to have roommates. I know how difficult it is to find a good roommate, though. So, but it just doesn't look like it's working out on this living alone shit. It doesn't look like it's working out very well for a lot of women. Whether it comes to overdoses or it just comes to straight murders, like you're just vulnerable as hell. And usually when you're puking, you're throwing up, you got too drunk, you got too fucked up, you got crossfaded. You might have in college, you have a girlfriend holding your hair back and oh, girl, you're going to get through this, whatever. When you're grown, potentially a husband. That's how it used to be, right? Decades ago. But now you're 32, you're single, you're a self-proclaimed model. I mean, if you ain't make it modeling in your 20s, you ain't no real model. I mean, honestly, and I'm not trying to knock her, but what real publications was she in? I've literally never heard of her, unless she did some Victoria's Secret shit. I don't know. I don't see anything that would indicate that. I mean, who told her she was a model? Now, Maleesa Mooney, I ain't gonna lie, she actually is pretty tough. And I'm not saying that, Coates isn't, I mean, me personally, it's just not my vibe. But definitely Maleesa Mooney. But Nichole, I don't see how she was actually a model. I don't see any real publications that she was actually published in, honestly. Maybe I'm not digging enough, or maybe all the stories are about her passing away. But I'm not really seeing anything that I don't see no publication, unless she was just like an Instagram model. Then I could understand. Okay, well, she is an Instagram model, but I mean, 32 as an Instagram model. And let's keep it a buck. I mean, how are you paying your rent if you ain't doing no jobs? It's a lot of questions that I have. But yeah, I mean, she got too fucked up, and I wonder how much she actually had in her system. Hopefully they'll tell us. But everybody wants to link these murders for some reason. Why are we so thirsty for a serial killer who's going around killing black women? Because that's what they're trying to paint the narrative of on all these different platforms.
But Nikki Coates was not murdered. So let's see. Found dead in her apartment 2 days before another was found dead. Family immediately suspected foul play with her dad, Guy Coates, telling the Post that she looked so busted and swollen when he found her. He could only recognize his daughter by her tattoos. I mean, my dog, have you ever seen a dead body? Y'all ain't y'all in LA? I mean, y'all ain't seen Boys in the Hood? You want to see a dead body? Like, come on now. Dead bodies don't look cute. I believe it was a murder. I really do. Dad in denial. Damn. And now here's the thing. If the dad is in denial from straight up facts that your daughter overdosed, then now who is he leading astray? Now he's leading the mother astray. It's just more bent up trauma that y'all are going and searching for an imaginary serial killer. Who went on a date with her? Who didn't? I guarantee if y'all go ask her friends, they'll be like, yeah, Nikki was a wild bitch. Respectfully, but she was a wild girl. Yeah, she used to get fucked up. Yeah, she used to rage. Yeah, she used to pop pills. Yeah, she used to do Xans. Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, if she's like regularly doing coke and booze, I mean, somebody taught her that shit. That's not somebody who just laid in their bed and died. And this is what I'm saying. Y'all have to understand, the family has to understand, what does an overdose really look like? It's not just go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, my little baby. That's not, it's violent. It's like you're seizing up. Like your body's trying to reject the fact that you're about to die. And you're reaching out for God. You're like, oh, God, please, if you save me this time, I'll never do it. Next week, you do it again. Save me this time, I'll never do it again. The following week, you do it again. At some point, God's going to be like, look, I mean, shit, you overdosed last week. I told you this last time. Now, that's the cold hard truth, bro. And it sucks, man. It really does suck because drug addiction is no thing to play with. But when the dad is denying the facts, like, you didn't know your daughter was on coke? That wasn't the first time she did coke. Come on. So he's saying that's not somebody who just laid in their bed and died. Of course it's not. She overdosed. It's not just, oh, she had a brain aneurysm and, it was instant. No, she overdosed. Yes, she didn't just lay in the bed and die. I mean, haven't y'all seen Ray when Ray Charles was going through the withdrawals and he jumping up off the bed? And I mean, he could overdose too. Shit. However, the case was not investigated as a homicide, and on Tuesday was officially ruled an accident. There you have it. Okay. The only cause of death was listed as cocaine and ethanol toxicity, with the latter being alcohol. The case status remained listed as open without explanation, and the medical examiner's office did not immediately respond to calls seeking clarification. Coates' death sparked intrigue and local panic when another local model, Maleesa Mooney, 31, was found dead in the apartment about 3 miles away just 2 days later. So let me just, put the stake in this one. These two deaths are unrelated. So I know black women on the Shade Room want these deaths to be related so bad. There's a serial killer killing black women. There's a serial killer potentially who killed one black woman. All right. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Nikki Coates died of an overdose. Let me repeat. Nikki Coates died of an overdose. It's sad. It sucks. We wish she was sober, but she died of an overdose. Okay. I just saw too many comments in the Shade Room. They trying to get. No, boo-boo. And I wouldn't even be surprised if a brother went and put it to Maleesa Mooney, because a lot of times they're trying to make it seem like, okay, the people cutting bitches up and putting them in freezers are like Jeffrey Dahmer type. Yeah, maybe in the 60s and the 70s, for sure. I'll give you that.
Those were the white guys who were doing that shit back in the day. But nowadays, bro, if y'all go through my channel, there have been several videos where I've done like mutilation videos of black men, black women mutilating. Remember that black woman who mutilated her fucking landlord? Where was that? Was it St. Louis? And then there was another woman who, you know, her body was cut up. And then in the Bronx, remember that lady who got cut up? I mean, you know, I think that a lot of these super gremlins have taken the role of the butcher, right? That it's not just the white thing to cut off limbs and all this kind of stuff, right? That's what they want, you know, us to believe. But the reality is, it could have damn sure been a brother who did this to Maleesa Mooney too. So don't rule that out, because they're trying to say in the shade room, and it could have been a white guy too. It could have been a Hispanic guy too. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, when you go into some of these Hispanic establishments, they know their way around a knife for sure. So, you know, just be aware that we don't know who did this, but we are going to look into it to find out. So we're moving on from Nikki Coates, guys. We have solved it. It was not a murder. All right. These two deaths, say it with me now, especially black women, repeat after me. These two deaths are unrelated. They're unrelated. All right. The narrative that you guys are trying to run with is not true. Okay. So once we debunk that, she, you know, I'm not going to say that she was a crackhead, but she loved her coke. She loved her alky. She loved turning up. She loved getting high. She loved getting fucked up. That's just the facts, bruh. And unfortunately, she passed away doing so. So let's move forward. Now we're talking about Maleesa Mooney, which I don't know why they didn't just name her Melissa, but anyways.
To you both. It's been 3 days since 31-year-old Maleesa Mooney was found dead inside her downtown LA apartment. LAPD confirms she was murdered. I spoke with her sister this afternoon. She says Maleesa was kind, loving, and opened her arms up to so many friends, and she has no idea who would be capable of doing this. The Los Angeles Police Department is asking for the public's help for leads that might catch the person responsible for murdering LA model and real estate agent Maleesa Mooney. Mooney's family became anxious when they couldn't get a hold of her last week. They apparently could tell the iPhone messages they sent her weren't going through.
When a week went by, we just knew something was off. Like, her messages wasn't delivering and stuff. So we knew something was up, because we all have a special relationship with Maleesa. The severity of the circumstance, it's so unexpected. It's been a wave of emotions. We don't really know how to feel.
LAPD officers were dispatched to the Sky at Bunker Hill luxury apartments for a welfare check Tuesday afternoon. Inside, they discovered Mooney's body. Her sister Jordan says life isn't the same without her.
Maleesa's always been someone, like a peacemaker in our family, someone that's always been like the backbone and making sure everyone's getting together, loving on each other. So this is a really big piece of us that is gone now.
Maleesa's family wants justice and for the person or people responsible to be held accountable.
I don't know who would want to do this to her, which is crazy. We genuinely don't know.
Okay, so, you know, I want to intervene here. Here's the thing. I don't know who wants to do this. Look, man, and I'm just going to keep it a buck. When you are a model, like I said, I don't know any real publications that what real photo shoots did she do? The ones that she didn't pay for, right? Like a lot of these women say, oh, I'm a model. If you're not getting paid to do these shoots, then you're not a model. Because all I see is one picture. This, like, you know, I see one picture. What makes her a model? that she took one picture of herself, one professionally, edited picture. I'm genuinely trying to figure out what made her a model.
Who or what will possess someone to do what they did to her?
Yeah, but for sure, the guy who did this to her is an evil son of a bitch. This motherfucker he's nasty work. Because when we get into what happened to her, okay, now you're like, okay, yeah, this is a murder.
Police haven't released any details about possible injuries, and Maleesa's exact cause of death is under investigation by the LA County Coroner's Office. If you know anything about a possible suspect or suspects responsible for her death, you're urged to call LAPD detectives. We have those direct lines on our website. Just look out for this story. We're live downtown. I'm Rachel Medetoff. I'll send it back inside.
So here's the thing. Here are, some potential theories. For somebody to get that close to her, I'd have to see if there was forced entry into the building to call it. But for somebody to get that close to her, especially a beautiful woman like her, there's either one or two ways. Either it was somebody she was genuinely involved with, which they keep saying, it sounds like she was single, because they keep saying, oh, I don't know anybody who would do this to her. If she had a man, then they probably would say, oh, well, maybe he did it. But it sounds like she was single. And if somebody got that close to her, either they forced their way in, which I don't know if they've presented evidence of that, or it was an arranged meeting, which is even worse, because then that leads to my fears of sugar babying, escorting, all these things, right? Because when you have these models who have, like I said, respectfully, she's got one picture, and it's looked like she might have taken this in her bedroom and got a simp to edit the picture for her. I'm just saying. But I don't see any other videos that would lead to me thinking that, oh yeah, she's just some successful model, or I don't even see any other pictures that, even Nikki Coates got more of a portfolio than her. I just don't see it, I think she's attractive, right? But here we go. Jordan Pauline is her pop star sister. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. But let's keep it a buck. Jordan Pauline has 1.3 million followers on Instagram. And she's saying, I don't know what could have happened. Dude, I almost guarantee that, well, here's the thing. I'm not going to guarantee, but my assumption, especially looking from Jordan Pauline and her vibe, I think, and they're going to hate me and they're going to kill me in the comments for this, guys, but I need us to stand on this collectively, because I genuinely believe this. I believe that she could have potentially been selling pussy. And here's the thing. These Johns out here, we already know that there's an open air prostitution ring in LA. If y'all don't believe me, I'll literally show you pictures like right now. And I don't think she's a corner, I don't think she's like a corner hoe type shit. But I think she is more on the high level escort thing. She's getting her bag. She's getting her bread. There's no other way that she's paying rent. She's not no real model, bro. She ain't in Vogue, like Drake said. She's not no real fucking model. Open air prostitution, like I said. Open brazen sex markets in LA. Broad daylight, because they decriminalized prostitution. So you got bitches wearing bikinis, all this shit. They're literally selling pussy on the street. Just like that. Just like that. Insane. Right? Oh, hell nah. Ass flatter than a flapjack. and they're pretty much butt naked. So this is open air prostitution in Los Angeles, and it's also happening in New York as well, as the many Venezuelan migrants are resorting to selling pussy. But hold on, I did get a few cash apps in and whatnot. Let me see. So we got Roderick Dubo with the $10 cash app. He says, for YouTube should pay you for fine reporting. Well, I appreciate that.
Oh, say less.
Damn, what the hell?
Oh, say less.
I guess my say less button is, man, I don't know what YouTube be doing to me, but hey, they're trying to take me out because my say less button ain't working no more. I was gonna give you a say less, bro, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think shit is freezing up for me. So let me exit out this page because it's definitely messing with my stream. But yeah, I want to show you this Jordan Pauline page because that's going to give you a lot of context. I swear to God, Maleesa Mooney was selling pussy with Jordan Pauline's vibe. Hold on, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I'll put. I mean, I would bet 1,000. I'll bet 1,000 she was selling pussy. I would. And here's the thing: a lot of these Johns, they can be violent. Some of these Johns have violent reactions to orgasming. I know it sounds crazy, but there are some men who get violent after orgasming. Now, this is Jordan Pauline, Maleesa Mooney's friend, and she is very much like, you know, thought culture. I guess she's calling herself a rapper. It looks like she was potentially a former stripper as well, and you know, this is her friend. I mean, she definitely looks very slutty. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, and in that news report, Sheila was looking crazy because that news report where we, you know, that video of them talking about her, that was her. I was like, what? Hold on, let me show you. Yeah. So this is Jordan Pauline without makeup. Let me show you. So this is her done up. And honestly, like with the makeup, she's like pretty bad, honestly. But when we get to what she looks like in real life, I mean, she's still decent, but oh my God, the wig or whatever the hell that is, it looks crazy.
We all have a
This
special.
shit. Look at the difference. I mean, what the hell? She looks totally different. Like, where'd the boobs go? Where did everything go? You know what I'm saying? It's just wild. But that was a video of her in video action. And then this is her, I guess, on Instagram. Yeah, right. This is her presenting her best face. So her vibe is definitely very much of I sell pussy, respectfully. And I would love to find what's her name's Maleesa Mooney's Instagram, but I can't find it. And she blocked her comments. I mean, could be out of respect, could be, yeah, so comments are limited. Really upsetting. I mean, I wish somebody would have tagged her or something. People are sending their condolences. Never in a million years did I think I'd have to make this post and get justice for my one and only sister. My heart is crushed. So is this her actual sister? I can't believe you won't be here with us anymore. You were so loving and so kind to everyone. You made sure if you ate, everyone around you was too. You opened your arms to people who didn't deserve you as a friend. You're the best thing
to happen to almost everyone's lives you touch. This is so sick. I can't believe my baby big sister is gone. Okay, so maybe this is her actual sister. The reason I'm me is because of you, my first best friend, the one who taught me everything I know. How is this even possible? You won't be here. We were supposed to grow old together and have babies and cook off wars. You're the best chef ever. This feels so surreal. I keep waking up crying, thinking I'm in a bad dream. We'll get justice for you, my sister. I promise. You won't be gone in vain. The people you touch and love, da 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 da. Love you. Can't stop crying. Very sad. Very sad. Yeah. So I mean, and then what happened to her was just brutal. So I actually want to get into those details, those nitty gritty details, because yeah, she was definitely in a weird position. But we're gonna read the Daily Mail article because I actually think they give some good insight. Let's see. So let's get past the Nikki Coates thing in this article. Let's see. Mooney worked as a real estate agent at Beverly Hills-based agency Nest Seekers and had only moved into her new home a month ago. So she only had moved in a month ago. Damn, that didn't last long. Cops entered her apartment, Sky at Bunker Hill. All right, so Sky at Bunker Hill. Damn, we got to look into all of this. So Sky at Bunker Hill actually has 3.6 star reviews. So let's just kind of look at the scenery, how much they charge in. So $1,800 to $3,400 a month. Not bad for downtown LA, if I do say so myself. They're pretty much charging the same shit in Atlanta. So that's actually not that bad for downtown LA. It still sucks. And a lot higher than it should be. But, you know, it's LA. What do you expect? So let's look at the reviews, actually. Let's go to the lowest first. I don't know if this would change anything, but I'm allowed to voice my frustration, and maybe this will help my situation a bit faster. My review below is based on my experience so far as a new tenant at Sky at Bunker Hill Apartments. So this is another person who moved in a month ago, just like Maleesa Mooney just moved in a month ago, and he's giving his experience from moving in for a month. My experience and current situation is impacting my day-to-day life, costing me tons of time and stress, and I'm fortunate enough that it hasn't affected me any worse yet. This is all due to poor management and customer service. I moved in on August 14th, originally supposed to move in on August 7th. My move-in date was pushed back 1 week, just 2 days before my original move-in date. This was all due to the leasing office believing that there's someone squatting the unit that I was going to be moving into. When in reality, the day after my original move-in date, they called and said they just didn't check the unit. They had some miscommunication and the old tenant left some furniture in it. So now have to do some maintenance, and it would be ready on August 14th instead of August 17th. Anyhow, 1 month after I moved in on August 14th, they had issues with mine and my roommate's lease due to their computer system. They said we needed to sign another lease. So we said, okay, but I couldn't sign the new lease because they had new IT issues. So this is all administrative, technical. Called every single day, emailed several times a week. No one has contacted me back in almost a month. Okay, so bad customer service. I've been here for a few years now, myself and my roommate. And like all places, you have issues here and there. But the maintenance guy, Luis Galvez, for one, he came out to do work, a work order, and he smelled like alcohol, and he was very flirty and unprofessional while on the job. So, ooh, wow. I mean, I'm not trying to put anything on Louise here, but could this be a burrito gremlin on demon time? I mean, yeah, one off day at work, but what if it was a maintenance guy who's going in there and, oof, I mean, this is getting greasy.
I mean, the reviews will tell you a lot. I'm not saying this is what's happening, but I mean, it stokes the imagination for sure. I texted my boyfriend and he came over a short while after. Luis tried to joke with him, and when my boyfriend replied, "They let you guys drink on the job," he didn't comment and hurried and finished the job. I don't know what dude is experiencing, but that behavior alone is unprofessional and literally makes you only want to request a job to be done Monday through Friday when supervisors are here on the property. The job was finished, but he made me very uncomfortable. She could be overreacting, or it could be the truth. They had a murder here on the 5th floor, another a few streets down, all within a few days. I was allowed to move, but I had to pay a $2,300 penalty. I was simply too scared to stay, and they still made me pay. Unbelievable. Super hard to get a hold of anyone too, unless you're trying to see it. They won't ever answer call back. So what's their response? Hi, Sandy. We are saddened to see the 1-star review that was left due to concerns regarding security and communication. We have been implementing additional security measures on site to ensure, and that's usually cap. Community has terrible communication. So a lot of admin issues, a lot of property management issues, but obviously somebody complained about the murder. Somebody complained about the maintenance man. Yeah. All right. Now, boom, boom, bap. Bailey Babb, Mooney's cousin, told KTLA that the family asked for a wellness check when she stopped answering calls. All right. Jordine Pauline, her pop star sister, who has 1.3 million on Instagram, said, Maleesa has always been someone who is a peacemaker in our family. All right. So let's keep going. Let's see what they have. Yeah. So we saw these videos first. Let's see. Residents living in the 450 unit high rise have allegedly been raising the alarm about weird, suspicious activity in the building over the last few weeks. Rent for studio and 1-bed apartments at the complex start at $2,000 a month. The building also has a resort style pool and sun deck and central courtyard, as well as a communal barbecue grill, tennis courts, and a dog park. What the hell? Is this an endorsement for the apartment complex? The Los Angeles Police Department said in a statement, the Central Bureau homicide investigators are requesting the public's help for any information in the murder investigation. All right. Deceased inside the apartment. Let's see. Exact cause of death. All right. So they're not going to give all the details in this one. We're going to get the deeper details. But, could she have been cornered? We don't know. But it seems like it was somebody who was able to get really close to her. Let's see. Let's get to this video really quickly. Because from what I'm understanding, the circumstances on which she was found are highly suspect. All right. So let's see. I'm going to pull up the report after we watch this video of what happened to her. But yeah, it's pretty gruesome, honestly. But like I said, to me, it really feels like there could have been something where, unless she just got cornered, got trapped, in her own apartment, it seems like maybe the person was invited in, and maybe, just maybe, it was some type of arrangement that she was trying to cook up. I mean, it's a lot of crazy shit that's going on, and a lot of women selling pussy in LA. That's a fact. So let's see. Boom. Respectfully. All right.
We are also learning disturbing new details in the murder of a model in downtown LA. No one has yet been arrested for the killing of Maleesa Mooney in September. Her autopsy results just released today, revealing police found her body wedged inside a refrigerator. Her wrists were bound together, her ankles also tied together, and those bindings tied to each other behind her back.
God
Her autopsy
damn.
shows blunt force trauma to her face, head, back, and upper left arm.
Damn. So this motherfucker hog-tied her and pretty much beat the shit out of her and threw her in the freezer or the refrigerator. Tied up inside a refrigerator.
Also tied together, and those bindings.
How the fuck did he? How the fuck did he get her in the refrigerator though? I mean, those got to be some big ass refrigerators.
Maleesa Mooney in September. Her autopsy results just released today, revealing police found her body wedged inside a refrigerator. Her wrists were bound together, her ankles also tied together, and those bindings tied to each other behind her back. Her autopsy shows blunt force trauma to her face, head, back, and upper left arm. And toxicological tests found traces of cocaine.
Okay, so you do see the cocaine is a similarity between Nikki and Maleesa, but like I said, everybody in LA is doing pink coke. What really is disturbing is her being hog-tied, as they like to call it. Yeah, she got fucked in this one. Well, I don't know if she actually did, but yeah, the murder is fucked up, is what I'm saying. A pregnant model was found dead inside a refrigerator, in her refrigerator at her downtown LA apartment last month. Her arms and legs bound, according to an autopsy report from the LA County Medical Examiner's Department. So I guess the guy just stuffed her in the fridge. 31 years old. Medical Examiner's Department ruled that she had died by homicidal violence inflicted by others. Her family confirmed that she was 2 months pregnant at the time of her death. Okay, it's a baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? Who got her pregnant? That's the nigga that killed her. I mean, that's just my guess. According to the autopsy report, Mooney was last seen on surveillance video at her apartment complex on September 6th. 6 days later, her mother requested a welfare check, and police entered the apartment using a key from property management. Police have yet to announce suspect or motive in the crime. Well, yeah, the nigga who got her pregnant, that's the first guy I'm looking at. Police discovered Mooney's body wedged inside the refrigerator with blood beneath her body. Her wrists and ankles were bound, and the bindings were tied behind her back with electrical cords and clothing. More clothing was found around her neck and face, and her mouth had been gagged, according to the report. Mooney had blunt force trauma injuries to her head, neck, and torso, as well as her arms, wrists, and ankles, according to the report. Trace amounts of alcohol and cocaine were found in Mooney's system. Although the medical examiner wrote in the report that it's uncertain if the substances played a part in her death due to her extensive injuries, I mean, I doubt it. Traces were found in her system. I don't know how recent that was. But it doesn't seem like it was a huge amount. Maybe she had a lit weekend or whatever. But I wouldn't say that necessarily contributed to her death, given the blunt force trauma and the bounding. Based on the circumstances of how Miss Mooney was found, these injuries suggest she was likely involved in violent physical altercation prior to the death, the examiner wrote. In an interview, The Times, Jordan Pauline, 24, Mooney's sister, said she last spoke with her sister. So is he her pop star sister? What the hell is... Oh, so... okay, that's what they... Okay, so that's her actual sister. Well, I guess they have different last names, but she is a pop star. And okay, now I'm thinking like, what the hell does fucking pop star sister mean? Said she last spoke with her sister on August 23rd, her birthday. Mooney had recently come back from a trip to Miami and had just moved into a new apartment. She was planning to get the rest of her belongings from her mother's house. And when her family didn't hear from her, they got concerned and asked police to do a wellness check. According to Pauline, police knocked on Mooney's door and left a card. When they didn't get a response, Mooney's family went to her apartment a few days later, but were told by the building managers that they weren't allowed in. They called the police, who discovered Mooney's apartment flooded and the air conditioning blasting.
Pauline said, okay, so somebody made a deliberate attempt to, I guess, keep the body cool as possible. Pauline said her family had to wait downstairs for hours until police told them they had found a body but couldn't identify who it was. From her head to her toes, they did something monstrous to my sister, said Pauline, a Los Angeles resident. We had to have a closed casket. The mortuary had to bring in special people to put her together and do her makeup. We're going to continue. I mean, why would you do her makeup if she had a closed casket? I guess for the final viewing. We're going to continue to have a closed casket because she has a big open gash in her head and half of her face. You can't even make her out. We waited for 4 days until they identified her from fingerprints. Pauline said there's a lot of negligence with the police as well. The whole point is to go in and check on the person, and they didn't. Well, I mean, they can't just go in. The Los Angeles Police Department didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Mooney had FaceTimed their cousin on September 6th and most likely died that day or the next, according to Pauline, who has been in contact with the family members. Mooney had gone out with friends to a bar in Santa Monica on September 6th. Okay, so she might have done coke and got drunk at the bar and hung out with them at her apartment until 3 or 4 a.m. So she hung out with friends until 3 or 4 a.m. at the apartment. Then they never heard from her again. So between that time, somebody pulled up. Mooney's phone and laptop had also been stolen, as well as designer purse from her apartment. So she could have just got robbed, honestly. According to Pauline, who said that whoever killed her sister most likely knew her phone passcode and was sending her family vague texts. Oh, wow. So they was texting back. She didn't elaborate on the messages. They also found out that someone had put Mooney's cell phone up for sale for $100. Damn, these niggas are grimy. So they could have just, oh, damn. I mean, this is just a guess, but what if Jordan Pauline had ops? Ooh, shit. Now, because she does have a lot of clout. And here's the thing. She's a pop star. I've never fucking heard of her. And, you know, she hangs with a lot of Thug Max Alpha Simps, most likely. What if she had ops? What if she had niggas who were trying to, you know, spin the block on her? Because a lot of these women, they do make enemies, not only in the industry, but even on social media, even in their DMs, because they be talking greasy. And then everybody know who you are and everybody know who you be around. And it's just like, But yeah, I mean, I'm still leaning toward the baby daddy, the guy who impregnated her. Overall, she was an amazing cook. Okay, we read that part. GoFundMe. Find these people, whoever did it, so it doesn't happen again to another young girl. We're all humans living our human experience. I wouldn't wish this on anyone for them to have gone through this pain. So yeah, body found bound in the fridge. The binding, here's the thing, bound with wire, bound with clothes. If it was just wire, then I would have been like, okay, this is a serial killer, this is a professional thing. But binding with clothes, that means you came unprepared. I don't know if it's a serial killer. It could just be somebody robbed her, because they did take the laptop, they took the phone, they trying to sell it for $100. Selling the phone for $100 after catching a body is crazy. Yeah, that's wild. But I'm trying to see if we can find any more information before we end the stream. But like I said, with the stealing of the phone and all that kind of stuff, these are some Thug Max Alpha Simps. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the guy who impregnated her. If you search the hashtag, they are putting hypotheses together. You know, and let's just say that, let me go to Jordan Pauline's page again. People are pretty much saying that, they have a guy in a hashtag that they're saying did it and all this kind of stuff. I don't know, so I don't want to put that out there. But people are saying that it's this certain individual. I don't know if he has connection to her, but I'm not going to show his picture just because I can't confirm. But there was a guy in his comments were definitely getting lit up. And they were accusing him of doing it, and he definitely looked like a Thug Max Alpha Simp. But I can't confirm that it was him or not. But she was found in the fridge, and bound. So definitely a sticky situation here. Let's see. This is the Daily News with more information. Wedged into a refrigerator. So she was wedged in. So he bent her. Bent her backwards, I guess. Found dead in LA. Blood pooled beneath her body. Wrists were bound together, ankles were bound together, and the bindings were tied to each other behind her back with miscellaneous electronic cords and clothing items. So it looks like he probably used what he had in the house. Additional clothing items were found around her neck, face and neck, like we had read before. Traces of cocaine and alcohol for sure. Blunt force trauma injuries observed at autopsy and generally not considered actually life-threatening on their own. So the blunt force trauma, she did get beat, but they're saying that the beating was not life-threatening. However, based on the circumstances of how Mooney was found, these injuries suggest she was likely involved in a violent physical altercation prior to her death. Here's the thing. I think it could have just been a robbery gone wrong as well. That's what it potentially sounds like. But these super gremlins who did this, they went in, beat her up, and it's honestly, it sounds like some teens, because if y'all trying to sell a dead girl's iPhone for $100, that's some amateur work. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, they beat her up, they bound her, and I guess they stuffed her in the fridge when they figured out she was dead. So it's a very horrible story. It could have potentially been a robbery as well. There's so many different factors. I don't want to, but I'm just throwing out, I'm just kind of spitballing, seeing what sticks. But if I had to put a prediction on it, because honestly, it's like, I got to see these damn fridges. Like, how the hell is she stuffed in the fridge? Because, hell, I can't even get my day. I spend $200 on groceries, and I can damn near barely fit them hoes in the damn fridge. So I'm trying to figure out how you're going to fit a whole human in the fridge. And if you look at their fridge, it's a basic fridge. Honestly, it's not one of them double door fridges. If you look at this fridge, I do like the island style stove and the overhead vent over the kitchen. I mean, it's a beautiful kitchen for sure, but y'all got 3.6 star reviews, so y'all shit sucks. But I don't see how she's fitting in there, honestly, alive. So I don't think she died in the fridge. I think she was dead before they stuffed her in the fridge. Now that's a big ass door right here, the entry door. If that entry door was as big as the fridge, then I say, okay, yeah. If that entry door is into a walk-in freezer, then I say, okay, yeah, but that's obviously the exit because you can see the peephole. So I think that she was stuffed in the fridge after death, post-mortem, if you will. And yeah, I mean, it sucks. But this is where she's killed. Guys, do not rent here. Do not rent here because y'all are a walking lick, honestly. So that's pretty much what I've got on this one. I really wish I had a suspect for you guys. I genuinely do. because I would love to have seen who did this. Let's see, and maybe KTLA has a little bit more on the story. I'll see if they have a longer video trying to give us detail. But yeah, this woman was brutally murdered. They beat the shit out of her. They bound her, hog-tied her. Man, I mean, LA is no joke. Y'all gonna stop, fucking around in LA, bro. You're gonna learn. The police commissioner already said that he can't protect you. I don't understand why these girls think they're gonna be safe in LA. I really don't, bro. I really don't. But they think it's like, because it's so woke, they think that it's safe because there aren't Trump supporters. It's insane, bro.
11 gruesome new details revealed in the brutal murder of an aspiring model. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Sandra Mitchell in for Cher Calvin. According to the autopsy report just released, 31-year-old Maleesa Mooney was bound, she was gagged, and she was stuffed inside a refrigerator.
Despite the new disturbing details, police have been tight-lipped, refusing to release any details about a suspect. Mary Beth McDade is live.
Yeah, so they're not releasing any details about a suspect. If it's a one-man job, if it's a three-man job. Like I said, baby daddy should be first in question. But why aren't they releasing anything, bro? It's been weeks. We deserve to know.
Live in Hollywood with the details tonight. Mary Beth.
Yeah, and Micah and Sandy, I can tell you guys that the details revealed in this autopsy report, absolutely horrific. And the person responsible, still on the loose.
Disturbing details revealed in the newly released autopsy results of 31-year-old model Maleesa Mooney. The medical examiner has ruled the cause of death as homicidal violence. The report indicates Mooney was last seen alive on surveillance video at her downtown LA apartment complex on September 6th. Police found her badly beaten body 6 days later, and we now know her body was found inside a refrigerator in her luxury apartment. Her family had asked police to do a welfare check when they hadn't heard from her.
We just knew something was off, like her messages wasn't delivering and stuff.
Police found the model's body brutally beaten, her head and body with traumatic injuries, her wrists and ankles bound and tied together behind her back with electrical cords and clothing, a gag stuffed in her mouth, her body then wedged into a refrigerator with pooled blood below it. The investigator believes what many had suspected, that she was likely involved in a violent struggle before her death. In a recent interview, the model's sister reacted to the trauma her sister suffered.
We have to have a closed casket. We can't even see her. The people at the mortuary don't even want us to see her because he said it's traumatic. The guy at the mortuary started crying for us because of that, how traumatic it is. And it's like, why would someone do this? You know?
Yeah, like I said, baby daddy, prime suspect. She was pregnant. But the bounding and the stealing of the phone and laptop definitely seem like just a straight up robbery. And that is pretty much the result of woke policing, or the lack thereof, in LA.
Like, why would someone do this to her, you know?
Her sister told us Maleesa was pregnant. She said she spoke to the
Plus, I don't know if you guys heard that story, but I think 4 LA PD officers just committed suicide today. So it's a thankless job.
expectant father, and doesn't think the pregnancy had anything to do with her sister's murder. The report indicates that suffocation may have played a part in her death, but says it's uncertain if the cocaine and alcohol in Maleesa's body contributed.
And this person is still out there, you know what I'm saying? And the police is not telling us anything. Like, I'm just like, what is the holdup?
Yes, there are just so many questions tonight about her killer and just how fearful the public should be. We reached out to LAPD, and all they'll say is that detectives are not talking and the investigation is ongoing. For now, reporting live here in Hollywood, Mary Beth McDade. We'll send back to you guys in the studio.
Mary Beth, thank you.
And there you have it, guys. I mean, it's wild out here, bruh. It is literally wild. But this is LA for you. And people in the comments are saying that it's actually worse than even what I'm describing. So I would say definitely leave. If you're a woman, you definitely need to get your ass up out of LA. I don't care if you're trying to make it in Hollywood. It's really not worth it. And if you are, at least you're going to have to do a long commute because, man, it's wild. But anyways, y'all heard it first. We pretty much broke down these two deaths. Nikki Coates' death is absolutely unrelated to Maleesa Mooney's. And Maleesa Mooney was murdered, in fact, but we don't know who it was. I'm leaning toward the baby daddy just because she was pregnant. And my thing is, has the family reached out to the guy who got her pregnant? That could, should be a discussion anyway as well. But anyways, I hope you guys appreciated the stream. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Definitely comment right after the stream ends to show your support. Push me in the algo. But other than that, we are going to go ahead and send it to Jenquavius to take us away. Guys, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, Super Trap on your way out. Show some love. Get your boy Jenquavius out of this damn cardboard box. But you already know what it is, man. It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Peace out.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jenquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jenquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what this is.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.